back today with the Maverick, and as the title says, this is going to be a video on how to install these sliders right here. These are kind of like unistrut sliders, tie downs. These are the Ford. These do happen to be the Ford parts right here. And I will put a description down below of the part number if I can find it. In this case, I kind of ripped off my old Maverick. I had a luxury package Maverick, XLT Lux. It came with these. Before I sold it, I took them off. My truck, I can do what I want to do with it at the time. So that's exactly what I did. Saving them for this one. So it's just a little thing people do in the Mavericks if you don't have them. A lot of people do the unistrut mod where they go right here with these threaded holes that are already pre-threaded. And you can use them as like tie downs and stuff. You know all that stuff. If you're looking at this video, you might want to do that to this. Like I said, you can use many other things besides the Ford part, but I have the Ford part. It's pretty much plug and play. So I saved the hardware and everything else for it, and I figured, hey, a cool little thing that, you know, this one will have, being that it didn't come with it from the factory. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around and show you guys what we have to do to this model, because this is a little bit different than your standard truck that comes with these. Just got to do a few other little modifications, but nothing too crazy, something we can easily do. So let's get going. If you're doing this from Ford, if you can somehow source these parts from Ford, you're going to need the bolts right here that come with it. I cannot tell you the exact thread, so you might have to do some research yourself on getting threads that will fit this, but they do appear to be metric threads. And we do have a T30 torque spin. That's all we're gonna need for this job here. So three bolts per slider. The Ford ones already have your designated slots that you're gonna use for the hole. So they should line up perfect with these. So you're gonna miss two things if you have a non-Lux package. You're gonna miss two things if you do decide to add these. And what's it gonna be? It's going to be this rubber plug right here. So say you wanna run some wiring through, you're gonna lose this. It's gonna be covered up by this tie down right here. And you are also going to lose that tie down hook. So you're going to have to remove these tie down hooks. And that might be useful to you. So this might not be the mod for you. I know a lot of people are probably going to take advantage of those just because it's a small bed. You know, people are going to pack what they can in these things. And with all of that, you can actually buy some tie downs from Ford, which if I would have known better, I would have took them off my last Maverick. Yeah, scummy to do, but you know, at the time, if I would have known that, yeah, I could have definitely added them right here because they are pre-threaded, as you can see. But that's neither here or there. You do have the option to add more tie downs if you want to lose those. So let's go ahead and take these off with the T30. We'll relocate these to somewhere else, maybe you can find like a new thread for the truck. Either way, I've never tied down anything in the back of a truck. So in this case, I won't need them. I'd rather have these over those. Let's get going. And I'm not exactly a DIY person myself, but I have noticed in this bed right here, the base model bed, their possibilities are endless. Now I do know that the luxury package that I'm referencing to had a lot of tie downs in it, so that was kind of nice. And honestly, you know, someone like me, I do like nicer things in vehicles, so if you're watching this video, definitely I would suggest getting a luxury package. It's a couple grand more, but I think it's just well worth it in the grand scheme of everything. So if you can't do it, then you have this option right here. So we're just taking these off. Like I said, we could probably relocate them, and these are I think you can use this as a bottle opener as well. So if I had a power drill, all my power drills are in the house for winter. I don't want the batteries freezing on them, so hand tools it is. But yeah, we'll just put these out here. And these, as far as the hardware goes, you're gonna get two of the same bolts and another one right here that's thinner. So you're gonna use the thinner one in place of the hook. So you're gonna put the two thick bolts, one right there and one right there. in that hole. And then the thin bolt is going to fill the gap of the tie down right there. So 2 big ones go first and the small one goes last. So let's go ahead and get these lined up. All right, guys, so here's the tricky part where you might want to have 2 hands. We don't have 2 hands right now. So we're going to take all of our bolts and we're going to drop them in our holes. And now, like I said in the last clip, they're already kind of pre-drilled for the bolt heads. They're kind of recessed. So we're going to take all of our hardware and get it ready because we're going to be doing this with one hand. But we are going to be threading our bolts, but once we thread our first one, the strut's going to be kind of sucked against the wall. So it's going to be easier to drop all of our bolts in right now and put our washers on and kind of line it up as we go. So we're going to do just that. We have our Torx bit right here we're going to use to hand tighten the bolts. And once we get all the bolts threaded, we'll be able to kind of secure everything else. So watch me awkwardly try to lay this in the truck. So fast forward if you want. But like I said, this is kind of an awkward, tedious little process. I'm going to fast forward through more than likely. But you get the point. All you got to do is line everything up, line the holes up, tighten them down, and simple upgrade. All right, there you go. We do have it installed successfully. Kind of annoying to do between balancing these washers on the threads here, as these holes are pretty big holes. So the bolts kind of hang down like that and the washers slide off. It's kind of annoying. Like I said, 2 hands would be nice, but there's the finished product. Whether we use it down the road, we don't know, but it's going to be nice to have. And yeah, for those wondering, I'm not going to do a spray and bed liner. So I do quite think this silver and the blue, they look really good. They're pleasing to the eyes. Color combo looks great. I actually think I'm going to do a bed rug. So the bed rug, I believe, is going to cover the bottom and the tailgate. I don't think it's going to cover the sides. So as far as like the spraying goes, people are like, oh, do a spraying. I'd always do a spraying. You know what? If it gets nicked up or whatever, I don't care. It's a truck bed. But I don't really do stuff like that anyway, so the chances of this getting all scratched is probably pretty minimal. The only thing that I'm gonna have to worry about is for OCD otherwise, keeping all these like watermarks off, but that's no big deal. So we're gonna be doing a cover next, a tailgate cover to the top. It's a tri-folding hard cover. It's been on order for the last 2 months, and honestly, it was bought for my last truck. But it came just in time for this one, so we'll go ahead and do that. So I think as far as between the bed rug, the folding cover, it's going to be a good combo. And bed rugs have come a long way today. As far as like mildew and all that other type of stuff, they're pretty much maintenance free. So looking forward to that. But that's a little explanation as to why we're putting these on before maybe a spray and bed liner, which is not going to happen. Right, so now I'm going to go ahead and do this side, obviously. These are actually directional as well. Just due to the diameters of the holes back here and the Ford logo. There's a Ford logo inside this handle. So if we were to put it, on the other side, it'd be upside down, vice versa. So we're just gonna put it on the right way. So we're gonna drop our big ones through first, the first 2. And before we do any of that, we have to remove that other tie down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, get everything rolling. All right, guys, well, there it is. There's the finished product. So if you were thinking about doing something like this, if you can get a hold of this part right here, very easy, very straightforward to do. That's it. That's pretty much the video. But I would like to say I'm going to hold on to these tie downs we removed because we are going to use these down the road. Now, these are threaded holes, and they look like they're a little reinforced, so you can put some tension on these things. But in my case, I want to use these for maybe just like something small. I'm going to find a way to mount these because they're nice little hooks. So I'm going to get some reinforced threaded metal screws, and I'm probably going to drill them in right here. I'm going to figure out something I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I did try to put it right here, and it barely fits. The threads just quite don't line up, and I think Ford did that on purpose, but even with that, the diameter of the thread is quite a bit bigger than these screws that we did remove. So in that case, I'm going to relocate these down the road, may add them to a video at some point about kind of utilizing the bed system, but you have the hooks, I'm gonna use them. I have some metal screws. Now I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna tie it. I'm gonna do it like this, like that. Possibilities are endless. So guys, there's the video there on the truck as far as that goes. Next little thing we're going to do to it is going to be the trifold hardcover. So, as usual guys, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to y'all later. Alright guys, so actually I'm going to add this in here. I was playing around after I made all the video, and this hook right here lines up perfectly right here. So what I ended up doing was, I know I said I was going to add them down there, which I'm going to just buy some aftermarket hooks online. That's easy. But these ones are already pre-set up for the holes. So now we have a tie down hook right here. So, and we have one down there. So I know it's, you know, we have all types of hooks right here. Nothing up there to tie anything down. But like I said, I'm never in the predicament that I need to, but I might try to locate the OEM hooks down there just so we have 4 points to tie down. And we have some up there as well. So, like I said, you probably don't even need to put those there, but we have the part, we're going to do it. Down the road, we might thank ourselves. So guys, I'm gonna go finish this up here and put this on, but I figured I would just add that in to say that you can relocate them to there, so. All right, it's like a little bonus thing here. We're gonna go ahead and take this antenna off because we have a shorty antenna. Look at the difference there. So, definitely makes this thing look less awkward rolling down the road for sure. Just find it fits the general proportions of the truck. So we're gonna take our little antenna there, screw that in to the shark fin, and it'd be really cool if they actually just left the antenna like this, because I know the technology is certainly out there. So the fact that they have to add a little aerial extender to it's kind of annoying, but yeah, whatever. So we have the kind of a solution for that. You can get this antenna on eBay. This antenna was actually made for a 2002 Ford Focus, but the threads are the same. Just kind of snug that down a little bit. Drop a little gasket in there, and we have ourselves a shorty antenna. Much better.